Devin Haney versus Regis Prograis for the WBC Super Lightweight title. Well, let's break it down, shall we? Now let's jump into Regis Prograis. What does he bring to the table, and how in the world can he actively win this fight? Well, Regis Prograis, as we know, is strong like an ox. One of the biggest power punchers in the division. Legitimately can crack. Legitimately got pop to his name. However, against Zorilla, I remember I covered that, but I talked about this fight. It was bad. That performance was bad. That performance was very bad. Yeah, he knocked down Zorilla, but he also got knocked down by Zorilla. And the knockdown, it didn't count, but it should have been a knockdown. He looked out of sorts. He looked confused. He looked strange. He looked uncomfortable. Now he's going up against a better boxer who's able to utilize his length and athleticism better than any opponent Prograis has faced to date. He's got to do what Lomachenko did and operate on the inside. He cannot let Devin Haney be able to operate with his jab on the outside. Because again, Zorilla was able to operate with straight punches, jabs, and straights, and was able to make that fight incredibly close, taxing, and awkward for Prograis to get around. Devin Haney is leagues better boxer than Zorilla as a technical boxer. And he's got one of the best uses of his jab in the entire world of boxing. You got to make sure that you cut off the ring and you don't let Devin Haney be able to use his feet and his jab to stay away from your power. Force him to have to face your power. Force him to have to face the threat of getting knocked out. Because we know you got the power to do it. We know Devin Haney got rocked against, I believe, was Jorge Linares. The risk is there to hurt him substantially. And Prograis has the tools to do so. And the biggest reason why he's got the tools to do so isn't just because of his God-given athleticism. It is the fact that he is a southpaw. Devin Haney has always struggled against southpaws throughout his entire career. It's been a tough road for him to climb to beat southpaws. For some reason, they give that brother trouble every time. Now you're going up against a power-punching southpaw in Regis Prograis. He can catch and hurt Devin Haney if he's able to cut off the ring and not allow Devin Haney to utilize his feet as a means to keep the fight on his terms. You got to sway the tide of your Regis Prograis, because if you don't have a shot at beating him, in my estimation. I mean, puncher's chance, of course. We know this. It's a sport of boxing. But beyond that, no, you're seen as the bruiser. You're seen as the man that can control the fight with his strength and power. If you're able to get on the inside and utilize that, control where Devin Haney is able to go, mitigate his jab by smothering his jab, by getting on the inside and making his jab non-existent, keeping him in front of you, cutting off his means of escape, then you have a real shot at winning this fight. You have a real shot at knocking him out. But when it comes to Devin Haney and how he can win, I got Devin Haney winning this fight. And he's going to win because of his feet and his jab, as well as his size. And here's what I mean. Devin Haney's jab and footwork are going to be too much for Prograis to be able to figure out. Prograis is going to struggle with having to get around that jab consistently all night long, going to get frustrated, and he's going to fall in, get overly aggressive, lead into counters. Eventually, that accumulation of damage will build up. Those pot shots, they may not hurt in the immediate, but you get caught with them enough, especially with the amount of holes that Regis Prograis has in his game and in his defense and in his ability to be open for counters. That accumulation of damage can build up and do some real hurt later on in the rounds, and also use his size to control Prograis when he does get on the inside. Because while Prograis is seen as the stronger man, Devin Haney, I think, is going to be the bigger man in this fight. Reason being, Devin Haney's been big his entire career, similar to what we talked about with Ryan Garcia. When it comes to Devin Haney, now moving up to 140, now getting out of being drained physically, with him having to dehydrate constantly, we will see a Devin Haney who will be more flushed out, will be more rejuvenated, and be able to utilize his frame better than we've seen him do it before. We could see Devin Haney be deceptively strong. Not in terms of punching power, but in terms of being able to stand his ground and mitigate where Prograis goes, rather than the other way around. Not just with his feet and with his jab, but with his legitimate size that he has on him. If you get in on the inside, I can shove you off. If you try to clinch me up and force me somewhere, I can walk you back where I want you to go and submit what I've been thinking about Devin Haney for a while. The reason why he doesn't have a whole lot of power and a whole lot of KOs is because he was fighting at 135. Now, if he fights at 140 and keeps moving up, we'll see that power become more and more substantial. Remember Shakur Stevenson? As he got bigger, we saw his punchers or punching become more substantial. That's what we can see with Devin Haney when it comes to this fight at 140. A new, sharper, and more lethal Devin Haney from the perspective of his weight not being a factor, allow for us to see fully what his body is capable of. And if we see that, it's going to be an easy win. But I got Devin Haney by unanimous decision. And if Regis Prograis did knock him out, it will be from a shot that Devin Haney didn't see coming. But if it doesn't happen, which I don't think it will, I got Devin Haney winning by unanimous decision. Being able to outbox and just confuse and make Prograis look just like he looked against Zorilla when they fought against him.